some news in the NBA had gone down after the NBA draft at the conclusion of June, where, funny enough, despite the fact he was picked number 55th overall, second round, who almost nobody talks about second round draft picks, Bronny James is the headline of the 2024 NBA draft, and he got drafted.
No one's even talking about the first round.
Nobody gives a shit about none of them. He got drafted by the very team his father currently plays for, and for the first time.
GM strikes again, bro.
Right. And for the first time in NBA history, a father and son are playing in the NBA at the same time.
Bam.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on Bronny James getting drafted?
Action, baby.
Yeah, right. I think it's the first time since baseball, maybe, because I don't think you can count NASCAR. But
I think there's going to be a lot of, like, moments that, like, are etched into history. Because, like, even with Ken Griffey, right, that was, like, kind of, like, the first time that happened in any sport. But I remember when, like, Junior caught a fly ball.
Yeah, in front of his
dad.
father.
Yeah, and he, like, laughs, and his dad's kind of like, and it was just, like, it's an iconic moment, you know? Or there was one where they hit home runs back to back. So I've seen, like, all of those, and I'm like, this is it's cute. It's, like, wholesome. I'm like, wow. So I think LeBron is gonna have, like, it's gonna be a moment where it's like LeBron drives in and then Bronny's open on the side, hits him with a dime, and he hits that three, and it's like father to son connection.
Yeah, it seems so cool, but I think there's also there's a lot of frustration that's behind it, but also there's no guarantees because it's 1/5 of second round picks don't even make it to the regular season.
I think with the nepotism, the nepotism on his side, it's gonna work. I didn't know what that word meant. I looked it up the other day. I seen Woj talk about it on ESPN. He's like, I don't want to hear nothing about nepotism. I'm like, that's a big word. Let me go look it up. Nepotism is like something, like getting something, I guess, that's undeserved because your family.
It's like somebody else could have influence that they can now have you come in and.
It's like, you know, Donald Trump is like, I got a small loan of $1 million from my father. That's nepotism.
Yeah, ultimately, you're able to benefit off of the hard work of somebody
that nepotism gonna hit, boy. Yeah. I tell people all the time, I don't know why people get mad at it, because I look at it in the world of, like, money or finance, like, through an economic lens. This shit exists in business. That's the whole point. Like, why would you want your kid to struggle when they don't have to, when you can give them, like, a leg up?
Yeah, it's not to even give the silver spoon per se, but it's a situation where you open up the door for opportunity, because a lot of people like to say get it out the mud and all this other stuff, but do you really want your child to go through what you went through to get to this point? No.
I understand the concept. Like, I don't think I would be the man I am today if I
you need those struggles, you need the adversity.
I needed that, but like, I think if you raise a kid differently and you teach them, I've been looking into this a lot. I've been diving deep into this Bronny thing. Someone said Boruto-ass lore.
Kind of. It's like Boruto.
What is this? And I looked it up, and Boruto was Naruto's son.
Yeah, Naruto's son.
Whereas, like, Naruto had to get it out the mud to become the greatest ninja ever. And then his son kind of like, yo, you got all this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool. Like, you might not be as good as the original. I highly doubt his son's going to be as good as LeBron. But shit, bro, you become a good role player or like a B-level star, like, that's fine, you know?
If he's able to get to the B-level star, that'll far then exceed the expectation of him coming out. Because in high school, he was ranked in the top 20, but anybody who was watching with the eye test, he didn't seem to be like that kind of generational kind of player. Went to college, had a crazy scare with, like, the heart situation, had to get surgery, I believe, and everything of that nature. Went through the recovery, played at USC, appeared in like 20 or 25 some games, didn't average more than 5 points per game. And there's been a lot of people who've played well in college that didn't translate over to the NBA, or people who played shit in college, or maybe didn't even play and went to the NBA and had decent careers. But there was no denying, looking at Bronny coming out, like, yeah, this guy is not quite an NBA prospect yet.
I think, the Lakers said they drafted him because of his character. So, I mean, listen, that's like a girl saying, oh, I like you because of your personality.
Yeah, pretty much.
You might not be rich or talented or handsome, but you got a great personality. That's why.
What does character help you win games?
I mean, it can. I definitely think, like, if you had some people that had good character, that worked really hard, that hustled. Like, I felt like Alex Caruso was that type of player.
Oh no, but Caruso is a dog.
No, but that comes with the character. Like, a dog is like, that's not a genetic thing. Like, the dog is in here.
Yeah.
The dog is in here. So with Alex Caruso, he's like, damn, I'm like a bald white guy. I need to fucking play really
But
good
then the
defense.
character comes secondly, because the first, when you think of Alex Caruso, the first thing that comes to mind is like, yo, this dude's a dog, great defensively, and then, oh, he also has great character. If the first thing for Bronny
I
is
think
like,
character
he has
develops
great
the
character,
dog,
and
though.
let's figure out what else he has.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It sucks because he didn't get his dad's genes. Like, how do you get the DNA
yeah,
without getting the DNA? Like, the dude's 6'2",
yeah, 6'2", 6'1",
210.
6'2". Yeah, doesn't have the height. He's decent with
has bounce, like,
playmaking.
he
Like
can
he
jump.
can jump. There's that. I think for him, he should have stayed in college and developed his game because he could have gotten better over time.
I think it's more so like college that you can't really control if they give you minutes, if they let you
No,
play.
you can't. And you play within a system because it's
Yeah.
it's very archaic. Because if you watch college basketball, almost every team plays the same.
Yeah.
You have a certain sort of system. You're holding the ball at the top of the key. Nobody's really rotating, passing the ball like that. There's times in which they do go and run plays, but that's when the shot clock almost goes down. So if you really want to develop your game, you'd make it to the NBA. In the case of Bronny, he's able to, leverage his father and get there.
Literally, the coach of the Lakers now is his podcast
Yeah.
co-host.
Yeah. Well, they did say they were going to suspend podcast operations now. That'd be a
Yeah,
conflict
bro,
of interest.
he started that podcast, so
yeah.
he set it up.
Maybe.
So imagine this. Imagine my son going to the NBA, and you're the coach of the team. He's going to have like a really great opportunity to fucking develop and get
the
minutes.
Lakers have turned into AAU. That's pretty much what it is. The Lakers have turned into AAU, but then at the same time, my only thing was like now that he's going to be at the NBA level, it's just going to be a matter of, okay, you're here now. I would hope that he's able to develop at an accelerated pace because at least you're playing with grown men. Because I think in college you can accelerate at a certain, pace, especially because you're playing within the system. You're at the mercy of the coaches. Even if you're getting better, there's not moments in which you can kind of supersede the team unless you're like some sort of generational kind of player. But for the most part, now you're in practice with grown-ass men.
Yep.
Your father is on the team in and of itself. He about to be a 40-year-old dude.
The memes are hilarious.
So it's going to be crazy.
There's one where it's like LeBron chasing Bronny, and it's like Bronny when he misses that wide open corner three.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one that was like LeBron needed a 3-point shooter, 3-and-D guy so bad that he made his own.
Yeah, hey, you done made your child, or I should say make your own teammate. Also with Bronny, how do you feel that, you have a teammate that's sleeping with your mom?
Yeah.
Like there's just a ton that
I mean, that's not. It's like wow. One day into free agency, LeBron's already sleeping with his teammate's mom.
It's like the reverse Delonte West situation.
Well, bro, it's crazy because it was like wow. LeBron's teammate came out of his nutsack. I'm like, that is crazy.
Yeah, and they had other memes where they were talking about like he's trying to protect his son from all the different whores that's out there. Like Ruby Rose sitting front row. Bron is gonna make sure his son don't walk in the way.
LeBron's gonna teach him the method. I saw something like that. No, it's really cool. It's really inspiring, actually. I'm like, wow, this is my dream as a father. It's like LeBron. It was like LeBron and his teammate, and it's his son sitting next to him at a game when the son's like a baby.
Yeah.
So it's so cool to like imagine you raise this thing, and then now it's your you get to fucking go to work and work with it. So
yeah, I don't know what is your expectations for Bronny in the season? Because me personally, I think he's gonna be like a Thanasis kind of situation. It's just
I think the first season he's gonna be a Thanasis. I think it just goes to show. I think if he gets some minutes in garbage time, there was a over under. It's like one game. Like, will Bronny ever score 20 points in a game this season? I think if he has one showing like that, it permanently gets some minutes, and they know this too. And then if he has a game with 20 points, he's permanently gonna get minutes. And then if he becomes a staple in the rotation, he gets a chance to prove himself. And I think most people, they only really need a chance to prove himself. Like, I'm really rooting for Bronny. Like, I want him to win bad,
Yeah, I'm rooting for him too, because I know from where we sit now, the writing is on the wall. The moment that LeBron retires, he's probably got a year to 2 years to be able to establish himself until it's like, hey, we're indebted to your father, but not anymore. And then they gotta let you go because he's gonna have to do something to prove himself. But I will disagree. I don't think if he has himself a 20-point game that they can get him permanent minutes. Because let's just say you mess around, you come in fourth quarter, the Lakers up like 30. They're playing the Pistons or something like that. Bronny comes in, plays the whole fourth quarter, takes an unlimited amounts of shots, gets himself 20 points.
Well, I think if he does it efficiently, I mean.
Well, yeah, you have to do it efficient, but then also the context matters as well. Like if he comes in during games and he has a specific role to be played, and I should say he earns his way to becoming a role player, then by all means, you get yourself in a rotation. But I think he's just going to be like a garbage minute kind of guy at this stage of his career.
For sure.
But I'm very curious what things will look like moving forward.